What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? This is going to be your review for the Real Housewives of Atlanta season finale, season 12 finale. What are we on? Episode 24, 25, something like that. Episode 22. Okay. So it's the finale. So y'all know, normally the finale, they're trying to tie things up, but hell, they done started up a whole new hornet's nest on this finale. So we start this episode off. We see Miss Kenya having a grand opening, I guess. Not a grand opening, but they're announcing that her products are now going to be in Sally's Beauty Supply. I'm guessing it was a private event because there wasn't nobody there but the people who worked at the store. So I'm guessing that the only people that was invited was the people who worked at the store, because that's them the only people that was there. And then she spoke to the paparazzi side because there was only one person there, which I guess later on we find out that person was from TMZ. And Kenya made some statements about Nene being a bully and not having any friends, and just, nah, 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 yeah, 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 yeah. We find out Cynthia set a wedding date. She's supposed to be getting married in 2020, so October the 10th of this year. Now, with everything going on, I'm wondering if they pushed any of those dates back, or if they've adjusted anything. And she was on her way to LA, honey, as soon as they got done with Candy's baby shower, because I'm sure she was planning to stay in LA, I guess, until the reunion had, or, well, probably not to the reunion, but for an extended period of time. She was on her way to LA. Noella's in LA. She's seeing an acting coach, and everything is going great, so it seems, with that. So, Candy goes to visit her mom. She goes to visit Mama Joyce. And Mama Joyce tells Candy this whole elaborate story about how somebody stole her lunch money in the first grade. And from that point forward, that lesson that taught her was that people will steal your money. And Candy was like, okay, so you're clearly talking about Todd. Like, you're clearly trying to, give me some message about Todd. And she says, I don't know what's going on. Todd and my mom seem to have been in a good place, seem to have been getting along, and then all of a sudden it seems like we're right back where we started. And so she's like, I don't understand it, I don't know, but I just kind of just deal with it. I just ignore it and let it be what it's gonna be. Um, we see Nene getting ready for the baby shower. She's talking to Greg. Wendy Williams calls. I guess this is one of those calls that Wendy Williams was talking about in their little spat where she said she did Nene a favor by calling her on the show, but whatever, whatever. So they're having this whole conversation, and basically, Nene, it was an opportunity for Kenya to say all the shit she want. I mean, for Nene to say all the shit she wanted to say about Kenya, talking about can't nobody find Kenya's marriage certificate. She's insinuating that those weren't even Kenya's eggs, and just going below the belt, because I feel like that was below the belt. As much as I'm not crazy about Kenya, I just felt like that was below the belt. That you would talk about that woman's eggs and potentially that baby not being hers. Like, I just feel like that was below the belt. Now, the wedding certificate, I'm kind of here for, because I'm like, well, where is your wedding certificate? Are y'all married? Are y'all not married? And that was something that was in the blogs, and so her and Wendy Williams was talking about that. And you could clearly tell that conversation was basically just a setup for Nene to say all the horrible things she wanted to say about Kenya. And Wendy was like, well, I've seen the growth in you, and I definitely see that you're just a better person, and just don't worry about her, don't lower yourself to her level, and so forth and so on. Todd is down planning the baby shower, honey. He down on the movie set, and it's gonna be the baby shower is gonna be an outdoor block party type event, but it's gonna be Hollywood glam. The theme is A Star Is Born. They're gonna have red carpet. Everybody's gonna be dressed up, so forth and so on. Now, while we're there, we see that earlier that day, down to the OLG, Candy was having breakfast with her mom. Todd was there. Todd didn't speak to her mom or speak to her. Candy is fussing at Todd because she was like, that was, now my mother's upset, saying she's not going to come to the baby shower because she felt like that was disrespectful. Now, listen, let me say this, and some of y'all ain't going to like this, and some of y'all whatever. Here's the thing. Candy, 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 Candy. I know that's your mama. And I'm all about respecting my elders, and I'm all about being reverent to my elders. But let me say this. How much shit is he supposed to take off your mother? This woman has called him all kinds of names. She has questioned his character. She has questioned who he is as a person. She's even questioned his fatherhood. But y'all supposedly had cleared things up, made up. Y'all were in a better place. Now, for no reason, out of nowhere, just out of left field, all of a sudden, your mama is now coming for Todd again, questioning his intent, his intentions as far as Riley is concerned, talking about, insinuating that Kandi needs to make sure she take care of stuff because Todd might not be there for Riley if something were to happen to her. Once again, questioning who he is, questioning his integrity. And at a certain point, how much is he supposed to take? And Kandi was like, well, a hello don't cost you nothing. Yes, it does. It does. It does. At least that's me. Because at a certain point, I'm not going to keep giving you my cheek to slap. I'm sorry. And he said that he was distracted. He was in a mood. He was already in a bad mood, and he just didn't feel like dealing with it that day. And I understand that as well, because sometimes a hello ain't just a hello. You say hello, and then you wave him over, and then you want him to have a conversation. And now Mama Joyce is throwing little smart ass comments and little snide remarks in Todd's direction. And so he was like, you know what? I don't even want to deal with it. I don't feel like it. I don't feel like dealing with it. And the best way for me to avoid any type of situation conflict is for me to just keep it moving, go eat my eggs and grits in another part of the restaurant and get on with my day. And you know what, Todd? I ain't mad at you. And I don't think he's wrong. And Kandi, you're wrong for making it seem like no matter what your mother does, Todd is supposed to be the bigger person. No, just because your mother is the eldest, and just because she's your mother does not mean that she gets to run roughshod all over Todd no matter what. And I have a problem with that. I just do. And I've had a problem with it all along, but I thought y'all was in a better place. I really did. But now we right back where we started. And I feel Todd, like at a certain point, how much more are you supposed to take? And Kandi's thing was, well, it's the day of the baby shower. You could have, today of all days, why would you? And Todd tried to tell you, look, I just wasn't in a good mood. I just wasn't in the mood for it today. And I just figured I would just stay away. But anyway, Todd, I don't think you're wrong. Whatever. Nene goes to visit Portia. We see baby Pilar. That Pilar is a mess, honey. She is already responding to gifts and tutus and all kinds of stuff. It's cute. And so they have a conversation, they big sister, little sister again, honey. And they're having a conversation. And of course, they end up talking about the Kenya thing. And what we find out, now the rest of it, they just rehashing the stuff in the blogs. But what we find out is going back to last week's episode when Portia tried to make it seem like her and Shamir are so tight, and her and Shamir are so close that Shamir called me when her water broken, and da-da-da-da-da. Come to find out, that was a lie. That was not true. Shamir said she talked to Portia later on, either after she had the baby, after she had the baby, and she said that she was driving when she went into labor. She ain't never called Kenya while she was in labor, and so Nene was like, well, she must have had some sort of conversation with Shamir for it to even come up. And she said, no, I saw the text messages. She did talk to Shamir. She talked to her the next day. And she said, the reason why I didn't correct her and I didn't make a big deal about it is because of where we were. You were sitting right next to the president of the organization. I didn't want to make a big deal about it. I didn't want it to turn into a thing and embarrass everybody. So I just let it go. She was like, but she said Shamir came right up to me as soon as everything was over. And she was pissed. And I was like, y'all Kenya people keep giving Kenya passes on her badass fucking behavior. Then they went through the timeline of every time Kenya did something inappropriate to somebody, and y'all be putting it, and I know y'all gonna do it this time too. Y'all be putting in my comments about all the times that people came for Kenya and how Kenya is justifying her bad behavior. But honey, they went back to when Kenya had the bullhorn with Portia. Kenya was flirting with Apollo down to the Bahamas or the Jamaica or wherever they were that season. Kim Fields, what she did to Kim Fields. And that Kim Fields ain't never come for Kenya. Kim Fields never came for Kenya. And Kenya started with Kim Fields from the very first scene they shot together when she made the comment about her skates and called her Tootie. Like from the very beginning, she came for Kim Fields. And so, again, y'all can say what y'all want to say about situation between her and Nene, but at the end of the day, it ain't always everybody else. At some point, Kenya gonna have to take responsibility for her damn bad behavior. It ain't always somebody else. And y'all Kenya stands, y'all gonna have to step back too and be like, you know what? I fucks with Kenya. Kenya is my girl, but sometimes she be out of pocket. And that's it. Just because you admit that somebody you like sometimes makes bad decisions, it doesn't make you any less of a fan. It doesn't make you any less of a stan. But it's okay to say, you know what? Kenya be tripping sometimes. And I've been fair when I felt like the situation was the other way around and people were coming for Kenya. I've said it, but there was no reason for Kenya to make up that lie on Shamia. You did that just to kind of throw a dagger at Portia to sort of insinuate that Portia and Shamia aren't as tight as people as they try to act like they are. Like you had this big secret and you and Shamia had this big thing. That's what that was about, in my opinion. That's all that was. Whatever. That's my opinion. So then we see everybody getting ready for the baby shower, and we see Candy have a conversation with Todd's Kayla, and she's there for the baby shower, but she's saying how she wants to move back to Atlanta, and Candy was like, oh really, you want to move back to Atlanta? You were in such a rush to get to New York. And she probably realizes that, the grass ain't greener on the other side. And, life was probably pretty good for her ass down there in Atlanta. She lived in that big ass house. She probably had carte blanche to some nice cars in the driveway. And if nothing else, you could have had a job down to the tags. I mean, if nothing else, But she said, I do want to finish up what I went to New York to start. So I don't know if she's in school or something like that. But she was saying she wanted to come back. And then Candy said something about getting her own place. And I think Kayla sort of took it the wrong way. I think she was taking it as Candy was saying she had to leave. And Candy was like, oh, no. You can stay here if that's where you want to stay. She said, but I mean, you're in your 20s. And I just know most 20-year-olds want their own place. And Candy was like, I mean, I moved out when I was 19. Yeah, but you had money when you were 19. There's a little bit of a difference. You know what I mean? You weren't your average 19-year-old. I mean, you had been traveling the world and making money and doing other things. Like, that's a little bit different for you, Kenya. But she said that at a certain point, she is going to have to spread her wings, which I do agree with that. At a certain point, you are going to have to spread your wings, Kayla. And she said that her and Todd's relationship is a lot better. So, glad to hear it. Good, goody. Down to the baby shower, honey. Down to the baby shower. The ladies are showing up. They're all looking glam. Eva showed up with the baby, honey. Eva brought the baby with her, honey. And of course, y'all know Eva got that snap back, honey, with that model's body. So she's looking good. The lady, we got, Cynthia got her big wig on, her big hair wig. We got Tanya with the damn 1980s shoulder pads. And Candy's looking nice. Candy's surrogate is there. That's the other thing that happened. Don Juan, you was on one, Don Juan. You was really tripping. When Candy's surrogate showed up to the party, they wasn't gonna let her park in VIP. How in the hell you not gonna let the baby park in VIP for the baby shower? Don Juan talking about something, well, I didn't know. What the fuck didn't you know, Don Juan? You ain't know that was the baby? You ain't know that was the surrogate? You really thought that Candy was gonna make her surrogate park and walk? Like, come on, Don Juan, stop it. And even Candy shouldn't have had to tell you to put that woman in VIP. Like, that shouldn't have even been something that needed to be on a list. How do you not know that the surrogate belongs in VIP? That was so damn disrespectful, Don Juan. You be on one sometime too. Anyway, so listen, I said this on one of my other shows that I look at. I don't remember which one it was, but whatever it was somebody having a baby shower that didn't really need to have a baby shower. They were just doing it to have a baby shower. Because again, the purpose of a baby shower is for people to get gifts. But when you're dealing with a couple that one has the money to buy whatever they need to buy, they don't really need people buying them gifts, and or they on their third, fourth child and they already got every damn thing, it's really just a party. It's really just a party. And that's what this was. This was a good old-fashioned party. It was cute. It was a nice setup. Todd, you did a good job with it. Everybody looked nice. You know, it was just a big ass party. They had some party games. You know, they played a couple of party games and stuff. And so Candy, you know, she slides up to Todd and she starts fussing with Todd about her mother wasn't coming because her mother felt like he disrespected her, and she was upset because her mother wasn't coming and why he couldn't be the bigger person, and a hello don't cost you nothing, and why would you do that on today of all days? You know, I wanted my mother here. And you know, at first Todd was just like, look, I already told you that I ain't mean nothing by it. He was like, I even tried to call your mother to apologize and she ain't answer the phone. And my thing is, at that point, I'd have been done with it because that was already more than I would have done. I wouldn't have offered an apology for shit. So, um, and Todd said, "Look, I don't want to argue with you. I don't want to argue with you." And Candy kept going and kept going, and then Todd started getting irritated because Todd had already told you he didn't want to argue, but no, you wanted to keep going, you wanted to argue, and Todd was like, I don't want to argue about this. Like, I don't want to argue about this. Um, so Candy ends up walking off, you know, and of course they got an attitude, but they're keeping up a good face for everybody. And Candy is really upset because she really feel like Todd is wrong, and I don't. I just don't. I don't feel like Todd is wrong. But anyway, next thing you know, Kenya shows up, honey. Kenya must have misunderstood her invitation because she showed up in a sweatsuit. It was still cute though. It was still a cute little sweatsuit. Um, she showed up in a sweatsuit. Everybody else was glam, you know, glammed up. And she was like, oh, I misunderstood. Okay. I mean, everybody else there read it right, except for you. Okay. But anyway, so she shows up, and then we see Cynthia. I mean, we see Nene, Marlo, and Portia. They showed up, and of course, immediately Marlo being messy as hell. She gonna she gonna pull out the daggone headline from TMZ and start reading the headline, honey. And Kenya gonna take the phone and read the whole damn article and was like, she was like, but you didn't really say that, did you? Kenya was like, yes, I did. Nene is a bully, and Nene always has been a bully. And yes, I said it and I meant it. And basically, she was like, and what? So then the two of them got to arguing, honey. They got to going back and forth, and they got to arguing. Now, mind you, Candy's she up on stage trying to make some announcements and trying to call up the surrogate and thank the surrogate and all kinds of stuff. And they over there arguing, and they are back and forth. They're back and forth. So finally, they do get them to stop arguing and settle down. So Nene and Kenya going back and forth, right? Now, Shamia was standing next to Nene. See, this is the shit I'm talking about. Y'all Kenya stands. This is the shit that I'm talking about right here. They stopped arguing. Everything had calmed down. Candy was up on stage doing her thing, acknowledging people and all of that. Kenya gets up, walks around the table to go talk to Shamia, knowing you just got finished arguing with Nene. So you're going to go talk to Shamia. You're going to make up an excuse to go and talk to Shamia. And Nene right there next to Shamia. Like, come on, Kenya. All you were doing was trying to aggravate the situation. It had been calmed down. Y'all were moving on, but that wasn't good enough for you. You wanted to keep up the argument. You want to keep up the attention. And you want to fuck up Candy's baby shower. Like, at the end of the day, ultimately, you fucking up Candy's baby shower. You fucking up her moment. Honey, they got to the point where Todd was like, look, security. And they escorted Miss Kenya. They probably didn't escort her out of the party. They escorted her to another side of the room. Well, they were outside. And that's pretty much what everybody was like, wow, why would she do that? Like, she clearly just wanted to create a whole situation. Why would she do that? So, honey, that's pretty much where the episode ended. I guess we're going to pick all that up at the damn reunion, child. I mean, y'all know how they do the end of the season, you know, this happened, that happened. But I don't think nothing showed up that we don't know about. Kenya and Mark still separated, but they are going to counseling. Candy's home because she got to be because of the self-quarantine, honey. Nene got her new single out, honey. It's called Honey. Portia and Dennis are still working things out, but they haven't set a wedding date yet. And I think that's pretty much it. Eva is doing well. With acclimating herself to her new life. She ain't got to worry about her baby daddy no more, well, her oldest baby daddy no more. So anyway, that's where we are, y'all. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in the comments. Peace.